All right, good evening, sorry friends. Mitty Man coming at you again from Walker's Music. Uh, I guess you could say a continuation of the word for the day. Matter of fact, this morning I failed to mention the fact, I think, if I'm not mistaken, that about 9/11. And we wanted to, first of all, like I said, we always give God the honor, glory, praise. We thank Him for things whether it are, whether it is, I should say. And we give God also mention of your names as well. Keep y'all safe, each and every one of you cyber friends. Um, on that on that terrible day, 9/11, 2001. I never forget it. It was on Tuesday morning. I never will forget it. About 9:01, I believe. I just happened to be going front room, living room area. Looked out there on the television and saw two buildings on fire, and didn't really pay it too much attention at first. But the one man told me to take a double take at that, so I looked again. Then I realized what was going on. Man, we was under attack. America was under attack, and needless to say, being a former military, my first thought was what was going on, and then I heard about the Pentagon. It was under attack. And then I knew something was up big time. But didn't really know to the extent what was really going on until after the fact. And we almost lost over 3,000 people that day. And I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I don't know about any of you, but my first instinct, well, I went into military mode. Uh, those of you that ever been in the military, veterans, what's not, whatever. Those of you that's still in the military, we take our hat off to your comrade. You already know what I mean by that, and it's like, for instance, it's almost like a numbness, just a total body of numbness just came all over my body. I didn't know what to feel. I didn't feel anything at first. I felt anger. That was one of the emotions that I felt the most. It was anger. And then all of a sudden, it was like, well, what could I do? I went to scrambling in my mind of what could I do? How could I assist in this here situation? Well, needless to say, there wasn't too much any of us could do outside of the military, outside of our emergency people, emergency MTs, and all of those, the firemen, the law officers, and all of those brave people. Oh my God, all them brave people, that those police officers and those firemen and those. I was watching it. I mean, they was going into that building, even though it was coming down, and they knew it could come down, and both towers did come down, and we lost a tremendous loss of firemen and police officers, emergency workers. Those were the real heroes that day, people. And I don't know. I just tell you, I don't know. I felt numb, and then I felt very angry. And even to the day, some 15 years later now, I still don't really know. As I think back to that morning, that Tuesday morning of September 11th, I'm going to be honest with you, I think I still, deep down, I still have some anger in the way it happened. I think it was a very cowardly way to make a statement, but as we know now, that's the way terrorists operate. And I love what Benjamin Netanyahu said here just a couple of days, not too many days ago, about these people that keep on talking peace, but they're not acting like they want peace. And I'm a very, very big supporter. I really, Benjamin Netanyahu, I call him the little David of our century. In other words, he is the David of our century, of his people. Is a mighty, in my opinion, I think Benjamin Netanyahu is a very good man, one that believes in doing what's right. I can tell it in his voice. In other words, he wants to do what's right, and I see the way the IDF, how they handle the situation before they even go into an area. They alert the people to try to save as many lives as possible. People, that's humanitarianism at its best. And so when we look at things that happen, and you know what I mean, I just got to go on and armor down and to state the truth. You know, God even loved Osama bin Laden. Yes, that's how come. Like I said, we can't understand God and all of His infinite wisdom and everything. Yes, He even loved Osama bin Laden. Yes, He did. The thing that he was behind, no, but the man, yes. But nevertheless, we see terrorism today. We see it in a whole different new light than we did before 9/11. I would say it like that. In other words, when we look at nations like Israel, Israel has been prone to attack over and over again. Those people know exactly what it is to live. And I mean, you think about it, they live in constant threat of rockets and missiles and whatnot. But 9/11 woke us up, and it showed us that we was not impenetrable. And I hope that through the incidents of 9/11, that we would never forget. I don't mean to hold grudges. I'm not like that. I'm not talking about for real vengeance is mine, said the Lord. No. But I'm saying that it would wake us up to always let us know not to belittle no one that's in oppression. That's what we was talking about in Sunday school this morning. In the book of Isaiah, Jesus is going to end this oppression one day. But until then, we just going to have to deal with it on an individual basis and come together when we can. Just like this thing with Israel. In Israel, it's a little bit of nation. And all the nations going against a little bit of Israel. But guess what? Israel is not alone, people. And so therefore I say, you know, the Americans, we were the best friends Israel ever had. Yes. And I'm praying that we would turn again and not go and be anti-Israel. I mean, people, I don't think we can afford to do it. And just admit it, man, take on everything. So on this year, anniversary of 9/11, I'm just speaking and hoping and praying that we would all remember and reflect. And let us never forget the lives that were lost on that particular day. The lives that were lost not only through the attack of those terrorists, but through the lives that were lost by those brave young men and women who went into those Twin Towers, trying to seek and to save the lives of their fellow Americans. And that day we almost lost 3,000. And who's to say? Maybe we did. I don't know. Can you accurately account for something like that? But I think they have their ways. But nevertheless, we just got to, don't ever forget, people, when we are disconnected from our source, which is God, whenever you disconnect from the source, you wide open for attack from Satan. Simple as that. It's me, the man, speaking for our anniversary of 9/11, 15 years later. We are in here now to go into another election. Everybody is, people really don't know what to do, but I'm going to tell you what to do. Do what's right. Do whatever God tells you to do. And don't do no more and no less. Whatever God tells you to do, that's what you do. And don't worry about it, because God will take care of the rest. Point blank. So with that being said, let us stand together with Israel and for all nations that are trying to do what's right. And these that are not trying to do what's right and just going about slitting throats of young little innocent girls like they did the little 13-year-old Israeli girl. That wasn't what sense did that make? That's an innocent child. That innocent child life was lost for nothing. Because of what? What we instill in our young people's mind, instead of instilling Bible principles, godly values in our young folk, we teach and preach hate. And this is why that little child had to die. We need to get away from that kind of stuff and do what thus says the Lord. This is me, the man, saying whatever you get into, God's not in it, best you come out of it, because it's going to come to nothing. Till the next time, peace, goodbye.